istiyorum açıkçası. Çorak Ülke'yi okursanız evet modernist bir şiirdir. Yani teknikleri büyük oranda parçalar. Yani eskiden gördüğünüz o kafiyeleri bulmanız, ritimleri bulmanız zordur belki ama Çorak Ülke'de genel olarak onu lirik şiir olarak tanımlamamıza imkan tanıyan bir özelliği var. Bunu Hilmi Yavuz Hoca da bahsetmişti esasında. Şiirin müzikalitesi. Yani oradaki ritim, ton, bunların hepsi aslında çok mühim bir yere sahip şiirde. Belki klasik formlarda olduğu gibi tek bir bütün halinde değil belki. Çeşitli çeşitli parçalara yayılıyor. Ama bu şiirin özelliğini aslında reddetmemek lazım. Ve şiir normal okunup geçilebilecek nesir gibi, düz yazı gibi okunulacak ve geçilecek bir şiir değil açıkçası. Bunun için de üst dönem mezunlarımız arasında Sümeyye Hilal abla ve Meryem Hifa abla bize bir şiir okuması gerçekleştirecekler. E, Şiirin birinci, ikinci ve son iki bölümünü okuyacağız. Ve bu noktada bir hususa dikkat çekmek istiyorum. Şiirler okunurken aradaki bölümlerde esler verilecek. Yani durulacak belli bir müddet. E, O zamanlarda lütfen bittiğini zannetmeyin çünkü devamı olacak. Ee, Benim söylemek istediklerim bu şekilde abla. Gerçekten çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Hem ekip olarak hem de ben şahsi olarak size teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Emeğiniz
Biz
için,
teşekkür
geldiğiniz
ederiz.
için, ricamızı geri çevirmediğiniz için gerçekten çok teşekkür ederiz.
Biz teşekkür ederiz böyle bir teklifte bulunduğunuz için. Biz o zaman başlayalım. Hazır mısın Sümeyye?
Hazırım.
Sizlerle şimdi şiiri paylaşacağım. İngilizcesinden okuyacağımız için sözleri takip ederseniz hani anlama açısından sıkıntı oluşturmaz diye düşündük. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain.
Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers. Summer surprised us, coming over the stone boxing. With a shower of rain, we stopped in the colony.
And went on in sunlight into the Hofgarten, and drank coffee and talked for an hour. Binga kein Russen, stemmas Litauien, ich Deutsch.
And when we were children, staying at the Archduke's, my cousin's, he took me out on a sled, and I was frightened. He said,
Mary, Mary, hold on tight.
And down we went. In the mountains, there you feel free. I read much of the night and go south in the winter. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish?
Son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you know only a heap of broken images where the sun beats and the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water. Only there is shadow under this red rock.
Come in under the shadow of this red rock.
And I will show you something different.
From either your shadow at morning, streaming behind you, or your shadow at evening, rising to meet you, I will show you fear in a handful of dust.
Frisch weit der Wind der Heimat zu, mein Irischkind, wo weilest du?
You gave me a hyacinth for a first year ago. They called me the hyacinth girl. Yet, when we came back late from the hyacinth garden, your arms full and your hair wet, I could not speak and my eyes failed. I was neither living
nor dead, and I knew nothing. Looking into the heart of light, the silence. Öründle das Meer.
Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyant, had a bad cold, nevertheless is known to be the wisest woman in Europe, with a wicked pack of cards.
Here,
said she,
is your card, the drowned Phoenician sailor. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Look, here is Belladonna, the lady of the rocks, the lady of situations. Here is the man with 3 staves, and here the veil, and here is the one-eyed merchant, and this card, which is blank, is something he carries on his back, which I'm forbidden to see. I do not find the hanged man, fear death by water. I see crowds of people walking round in a ring. Thankfully, if you see the Miss Sakuton, tell her I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful these days.
Unrealistic. Under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge, so many. I had not thought that had undone so many. Sighs, shortened in freaky, were exalted, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet, flow up the hill and down King William Street, to where Saint Mary will not keep the hours, with a dead sun on the final stroke of 9. There I saw one I knew, and stopped him, crying,
Stetson, you who were with me in the ships at Melee, that corpse you planted last year in your garden, has it begun to sprout? Will it bloom this year? Or has the sudden frost disturbed its bed? Oh, keep the dog far, hence that's friend to men. Or with his nails he'll dig it up again. You, hypocrite lecteur, mon semblable, mon frère. The chair she sat in like a burnished throne glowed on the marble, where the glass, held up by standers rubbed with fruited wines, from which a golden cupidon peeped out. Another hid his eyes behind his veil. Top of the flames of 7 bright candles were reflecting light upon the table, as the glitter of Virgilius rose to meet it. From satin cases poured in rich profusion, in vials of ivory and colored glass, unseparate, lurked your strange synthetic perfumes, unguents, powdered or liquid, troubled, confused. And drowned the scents and odors stirred by the air that freshened from the window, faces candid and fattening to prolonged candle flames, long there smoke into the lacaria, stirring the pattern on the coffered ceiling. Huge seaweed fed with copper, burned green and orange, framed by the colored stone, in which sat light a curvate dolphin swim. Above the antique mantle was displayed as though a window gave upon the sylvan scene, the change of Philomel by the bird Barry's king, so rudely forced, yet there the nightingale filled all the desert with inviolable voice, and still she cried, and still the world pursues, Jack, Jack to 30 years. Another withered stems of time were told upon the walls, staring forms, leaned out, leaning, hushing the room enclosed. Footsteps shuffled on the air. Under the firelight, under the brush, her hair spread out in fiery points, glowed into words, then would be savagely still.
My nerves are bad tonight. Yes, bad. Stay with me. Speak to me. Why do you never speak? Speak. What are you thinking of? What thinking? What? I never know what you are thinking. Think. I think we are in Rat's Alley, where the dead man lost their bones. What is that noise? The wind under the door. What is that noise now? What is the wind doing? Nothing. Again, nothing. Do you know nothing? Do you see nothing? Do you remember nothing? I remember. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Are you alive or not? Is there nothing in your head but... Oh, that's Shakespearean rack. It's so elegant, so intelligent. What shall I do now? What shall I do? I shall rush out as I am and walk the street with my hair down, so what shall we do tomorrow? What shall we ever do? The hot water at 10. And if it rains, a close car at 4. And we shall play a game of chess, pressing lipless eyes and waiting for a knock up in the door.
When Lil's husband got Dim up, I said, I didn't miss my verse. I said to her myself,
hurry up, please, it's time.
Now Albert's coming back. Make yourself a bit smart. He'll want to know what you done with the money he gave you to get yourself some teeth. He did. I was there. You have them all out, Lil, and get a nice set, he said. I swear I can't bear to look at you. And no more can't I said. And think of poor Albert. He's been in the army for years. He wants a good time. And if you don't give it him, there's others will, I said.
Oh, is there?
She said, something of that, I said.
Then I don't know who to thank.
She said, and give me a straight look.
Hurry up, please, it's time.
If you don't like it, you can get on with it, I said. Others can pick and choose if you can't. But if Albert makes up, it won't be for lack of telling. You ought to be ashamed, I said, to look so antique. And her only 31.
I can't help it.
She said, pulling a long face.
It's the pills I took to bring it up.
She said, she's had 5 already and nearly died of young George.
Mom said it will be alright, but I've never been the same.
You are a proper fool, I said. Well, if Albert won't leave you alone, there it is, I said. What you get married for if you don't want children?
Hurry up, please, it's time.
Well, that Sunday, Albert was home. They had a hot gammon, and they asked me in to dinner to get the pity of it hot.
Hurry up, please, it's time. Hurry up, please, it's time. Good night, Bill. Good night, Louis. Good night, May. Good night, Tata. Good night, tonight. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night.
Abbas, the Phoenician, a fortnight dead, forgot to cry of gulls and the deep sea swell and the profit and loss. A current under sea picked his bones in whispers. As he rose and fell, he passed the stages of his age and youth, entering the whirlpool, Gentile or Jew. Oh, you who turned the wheel and looked to windward, consider Phlebas, who was once handsome and tall as you.
After the torchlight red on suede faces, after the frosty silence in the gardens, after the agony in stony places, the shouting and the cry, purism and palace and reverberation of thunder of spring over distant mountains, he who was living is now dead.
We who were living are now dying with a little patience. Here is no water, but only rock. Rock and no water and the sandy road. The road winding above among the mountains, which are mountains of rock without water. If there were water, we should stop and drink. Amongst the rock one cannot stop or think. Sweat is dry and feet are in the sand. If there were only water amongst the rock. That mountain mouth of Carrie's teeth that cannot spit. Here one can neither stand, nor lie, nor sit. There is not even silence in the mountains.
But dry, sterile thunder without rain. There is not even solitude in the mountains, but red solemn faces sneer and snarl from doors of mud-cracked houses. If there were water and no rock, if there were rock and also water, and water, a spring, a pool among the rock, if there were the sound of water only, not the cicada, and the dry grass singing, but sound of water over a rock, where the hermit thrush sings in the pine trees.
Drip, drop, drip, drop, drop, drop, drop, but there is no water. Who is the third who walks always beside you? When I count, there are only you and I together. But when I look ahead up the white road, there is always another one walking beside you, gliding wrapped in a brown mantle, hooded. I do not know whether a man or a woman, but who is that on the other side of you? What is that sound high in the air, murmur of maternal lamentation? Who are those hooded hordes swarming over endless plains, stumbling in cracked earth, ringed by the flat horizon only?
What is the city over the mountains? Cracks and reforms and bursts in the wild air, falling towers, Jerusalem, Athens, Alexandria, Vienna, London, unreal. A woman drew her long black hair outside and fiddled whisper music on those strings, and bats with baby faces in the wild light whistled and beat their wings, and crawled head downward down a blackened wall, and upside down in air were towers, tolling reminiscent bells that kept the hours, and voices singing out of empty cisterns and exhausted wells.
In this decayed hole among the mountains, in the faint moonlight, the grass is singing over the tumbled graves about the chapel. There is the empty chapel, only the wind sound. It has no windows and the door swings. Dry bones can harm no one. Only a cock stood in the roof tree. Cuckoo, cuckoo. In a flash of lightning, then a damp gust bringing rain. Ganga was sunken, and the limp leaves waited for rain, while the black clouds gathered far distant over Himawat. The jungle crouched, humped in silence. Then spoke the thunder.
Da, what have we given? My friends, blood shaking my heart, the awful daring of a moment's surrender, which an age of prudence can never retract. By this, and this only, we have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries, or in memories dragged by the beneficent spider, or under seals broken by the lean solicitor in our empty rooms.
Dayatlam. I have heard the key turn in the door once and turn once only. We think of the key, each in his prison thinking of the key. Each confirms a prison only at nightfall. Ethereal rumors revive for a moment, a broken Coriolanus.
Damietta, the boat was going gaily to the hand expert with sail and all. The sea was calm, your heart would have responded. Gaily, when invited, beating obedient to controlling hands. I sat up on the shore, fishing with the arid plain behind me. Shall I at least set my lens in order?
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Poi s'ascosa nel fuoco che giliaffina, con le fiamme se chelidon. Oh, swallow, swallow, le poing stocotina la tour aboli. These fragments I have showed against my ruins. Why then? I'll fit you. Hieronymos met again. Datta, Dayadvam, Damyata. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Çok teşekkür ederiz abla gerçekten. Yani muazzam bir okumaydı gerçekten. Belgesellerde ya da bundan önce Çorak Ülke üzerine yapılan işte programlarda denk gelmiştim birkaç okumaya. Ama bunlar kadar etkileyici olduğunu ben gerçekten düşünmüyorum. Yani arkada seçilen müzikler de benim de mesela değişiyordu o. Ayrıca çok hoşuma gitti. Gerçekten emeğiniz için, geldiğiniz için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Çok yani başta sorduğum soruya da bana kalırsa harika bir cevap oldu. Şahsen ben de cevabını öğrenmiş oldum. Yani gerçekten böyle bir şiiri nasıl okumak gerekir sorusu benim için de net oldu. Tekrardan teşekkür ediyorum.
Ben çok teşekkür ederim. Çok mutlu etti yorumlarım beni.
Biz teşekkür ederiz.
Bu arada Güner Hocam sizin söylemek istedikleriniz, eklemek istedikleriniz var mıdır acaba ilk günün sonuna yaklaşırken?
İlk günün sonun yaklaş bitti. Sadakallahu azim diyelim bugün için. Tabii ben çok heyecanlıyım. Yani herkese çok çok teşekkür ederim. Çok büyük emekler harcadınız. Gerçekten çok yoruldunuz. Mesainizi ben bizzat biliyorum. Dolayısıyla herkesi gerçekten gözlerinden öpüyorum. Allah emeğinizi zayi etmesin. İnşallah ileride çok güzel işler yapın. Güzel güzel işlere imzalar atın isterim. Ama şöyle bir tarafı da var tabii bu bütün bu sempozyum çalışmasının ve bugün gerçekleşen sempozyumun ilk gününün bizi bir araya getirdi. Şükürler olsun ki. Çünkü hep istediğimiz şey buydu aslında. İşte mezunlar bir araya gelsin, yeniler, küçükler büyükleri tanısın, ortak bir iş yapılsın, kolektif bir çalışma çıksın istiyorduk hep. Buna nasip oldu. Tabii burada sempozyumu inşa edenlerin katkısı emsalsiz tabii ki, yani eşsiz, ama ben mezunlarıma da çok teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Bizi yalnız bırakmadılar. Şu an halihazırdaki IB öğrencilerinden daha fazla katılım sağladılar. Durumlarını da paylaştılar, haber verdiler, gece yarılarına kadar provaları dinlediler, geri bildirim verdiler. Hepsine sonsuz şükranlarımı sunuyorum. Ve bu da çok klişe olacak, siz klişeleri sevmiyorsunuz ama çocuklar iyi ki gerçekten tanışmışız Karlı Bela'da, Eles tezminde ve mülaki olmuşuz. Şükürler olsun. Ben öğretmen olarak gerçekten çok mutluyum, çok gururluyum. Hepinizle gerçekten ayrı ayrı gurur duyuyorum. Herkes bir hazine gibi. Gerçekten cevherleriniz inanılmaz yani. Böyle ağlayacağım şimdi. Allah hep karşınıza iyi insanlar çıkarsın. Hep güzelliklerle sizi karşılaştırsın. Ne diyeyim? Allah yolunuzu açık etsin. Hep muvaffak etsin inşallah. Çok teşekkür ederim herkese, gelenlere, gelemeyenlere, manen destek verenlere, yazanlara, çizenlere, durumunu arz edenlere, burada olanlara, vaktini ayıranlara. Herkese çok teşekkür ediyorum. Tekrar gözlerinizden öpüyorum.
Biz teşekkür ederiz.
Aynı şekilde hocam, biz teşekkür ederiz. Aynı şekilde ben de verdikleri emekler için her kimseye ayrı ayrı teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Özellikle mezunlarımıza, abilerimize, ablalarımıza, provalarda ve daha sonrasında şimdi de keza yardımları için tekrardan teşekkür ediyorum. Ve iyi günler diliyorum. Görüşmek üzere. Yarın inşallah tekrardan birlikte olacağız etkinliklerde.